Change Radio News. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of May, 2024. The news is read by CP Westbanda. Stories making headlines today. Honorable Chibaya and team conduct training for members in Bulawayo. Ireland, Norway and Spain to officially recognize Palestine as a nation. ICC push for warrant of arrest on Netanyahu for crimes against humanity. And now for our stories in detail. Last Sunday, the National Organizing Bureau, led by Honorable Amos Chibaya, conducted a training workshop for cluster leaders from the Bulawayo Metropolitan and Matabeleland South. The meeting took place at the Bulawayo Party provincial offices, where training was aimed at equipping the leaders with contemporary skills and information on leadership and to mobilize support for President Nelson Chamisa. Our Change Radio News reporter, Wejira Munya, gives us the full details.
On Sunday, May 19, 2024, President Nelson Chamisa's National Organizing Bureau, led by Honorable Amos Chibaya, conducted a training workshop for cluster leaders from the Bulawayo metropolitan area in Matabeleland South. The training took place at the Bulawayo provincial party offices. The team of the trainers included Honorable Amos Chibaya, who is the national organizer, Mr. Farai Chinova, the director of the organizing Bureau, Stabile Moyo, the Bulawayo provincial coordinator, and Honorable Nube, the deputy national organizing secretary. Over 200 people attended this meeting. The purpose of the training workshop was to equip the local leaders with the contemporary skills and up-to-date information on effective leadership. This training aimed to empower the cluster leaders to better serve their communities and to drive the party's agenda at the grassroots levels. By investing in the capacity building of its local leadership, the National Organizing Bureau demonstrated that they are ready to usher in President Nelson Chamisa as the next president of Zimbabwe. The organizing committee, led by Amos Chibaya, has been crisscrossing Zimbabwe, educating cluster leaders, coordinators, with the aim of giving them information that will make them to win state power. Reporting for Change Radio, Wejira Munya.
Ireland, Norway and Spain have broken ranks by announcing they formally recognize Palestine as an independent nation. They assert that the only solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a two-state solution where Palestine can govern itself free from Israel occupation. In an online video, Irish Prime Minister Simon Harris stated that recognizing Palestine as a state will help end the killing of innocent citizens, including children. Let's hear him speak.
Children are innocent. The children of Israel, the children of Palestine, they deserve peace. It is long past time for a ceasefire, for the unconditional release of hostages, for unhindered access for humanitarian aid. There should be no further military incursion into Rafah. There should be no more Hamas or Hezbollah rockets fired at Israel. Civilians on all sides must be protected under international humanitarian law. Today's decision to recognize Palestine is taken to help create a peaceful future, because a two-state solution is the only way out of the generational cycles of violence, retaliation, resentment, hatred, where so many wrongs can never make a right. Just as Ireland's recognition as a state eventually led to the establishment of our now peaceful republic, we believe that Palestinian statehood will contribute to peace and to reconciliation in the Middle East. A peace that honours the legitimate aspirations of all people in the region to live with respect, justice, security and dignity, free from violence or the threat of violence. Today, moving in lockstep with other European colleagues, we seek to be bearers of hope. We want to reaffirm our belief that peace is possible, that justice is achievable, and that the recognition of both states, Palestine and Israel, is a cornerstone on which that peace must be built.
Meanwhile, pressure is mounting on Israel to end its invasion of Gaza after the International Criminal Court (ICC) submitted evidence to obtain an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity related to genocide in Gaza, which has resulted in at least 35,000 deaths, mostly women and children. ICC prosecutor Karim Khan reported receiving death threats for his efforts to seek justice for the people of Gaza. Speaking on CNN, he said,
"It's the protection of babies. I mean, these are fundamental American values that should engender bipartisan support. Now, of course, this situation, unfortunately, lies on the San Andreas fault of international politics and strategic interests. And of course, I've had some elected leaders speak to me and be very blunt. This court is built for Africa and for thugs like Putin, was what one senior leader told me. We don't do it like that. This court is the legacy of Nuremberg. This court is a sad indictment of humanity. This court should be the triumph of law over power and brute force. Grab what you can, take what you want, do what you will, and we're going to simply be we're not going to be dissuaded by threats or any other activities, because in the end we have to fulfill our responsibilities as prosecutors, as the men and women of the office, as judges, as the registry.
Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union President Obed Masarawure has been convicted on the charge of obstruction of justice. The charge related to a comment on social media where he demanded the release of the Union Secretary General Robson Chere. Magistrate Feresu Chakanyuka remanded Masarawure in custody until tomorrow at 9 a.m. for sentencing. Masarawure said he had been strangely convicted and thrown into remand prison, adding that the regime was always desperate to punish him for speaking out. He remains unshaken. On May 16, 2024, consultations on the Persons with Disability Bill (PWD) took place in Masingo. Mr. Henry Chivanga, Director of the Disability Amalgamation Community Trust (DACT), was interviewed by Change Radio, where he welcomed the Persons with Disabilities Bill but called for a more inclusive definition of disabilities to include albinism. Chivanga also advocated for an independent disability commission rather than one led by the ministry. Let's tune in.
My name is Weshira Munya, reporting for Change Radio here at Masingo Civic Center. I am speaking to Mr. Chivanga, who's going to take us through of what happened at the disability bill. Mr. Chivanga.
Thank you, Munya. My name is Henry Chivanga. Yes, we attended the public consultations on the persons with disabilities. Indeed, the turnout was great. We had over 300 people, persons with disabilities, who attended this. Of main concern to us, whereas we really received that bill as a progressive step towards giving persons with disabilities their rights, there are, however, some areas which need to be panel beaten within the bill. I will start with the destinations. There are some destinations which we feel should be excluded in the bill, especially the destination of disability. We also feel that when we define what a person with a disability is, we want them to include albinism and epilepsy. Now, coming to the commission is 7 people. those 7 people appointed by the minister. Our submission is that no, for us to meet the requirements of Section 17 and 18 of the Constitution that relates to the gender balance and the regional representation, we strongly feel that the members should be 20, and these members must be nominated by the citizens. And these nominated members should be persons with disabilities. And from there, they have to be interviewed by Parliament and then make recommendations to the President for appointment.
In Bulawayo, Motherless Chuma from Noble Hands Zimbabwe Trust said the PWD must clearly list all disabilities, including albinism. Chuma, who is well known for her charity work to raise funds and get medical treatment for citizens living with albinism, said if albinism was clarified in the bill, it will mean more support for them in hospitals and schools. She said,
okokuqala ngicela isicelo esikhulu ngesokuthi laphana okulistwe khona isintu laphana okubhalwa khona ama-disabilities bengicela ukuthi kulistwe wonke ama-disabilities kuqade kube sobala ukuthi sikhona yini thina, ngoba nginanzelele kakhulu ukuthi i-albinism icine singani yinto kuphonga ukufakwa kuphela ngani bekudlulwa. So akusacacanga kahle kahle ukuthi yona i-albinism thina siningathi sesinanzelelwa yindlathi ukuthi singabantu abakhubazekileyo kumbe asikananzelelwa, ngoba kulezinye indawo ukuthi nxa ungena bakutshela ukuthi hayi i-albinism awukhubazekanga. Yethu thina asiboni, sibonele eduzana, soze ngisasiboni kakhulu, sibonele eduzane yona leyana i-disability, ngoba abanye bethu bacina bengasaqedisi izikolo behlale emakhaya. So lingakhangela imina, khangelana abanye abantu abasemakhaya ukuthi baphila njani.
Fights over change are becoming common in Zimbabwe as the RBZ continues to withhold ZiG coins and notes. This often leads to conflicts between commuter bus operators and passengers over change for US dollar payments. Bus operators issue change in the form of return ticket vouchers or foodstuffs, and sometimes passengers end up fighting each other to find change after disembarking. Economic analysts warn that the longer the RBZ delays releasing ZiG coins, the more citizens will lose confidence in the currency. Provincial spokesperson Abednego Ncube has promised that the police will address the concerns of Bulawayo residents who have requested a police station in Selborne, as they currently have to go to either Khumalo or Bulawayo City to report crimes which they say are both too far. The residents requested this last week during a crime awareness campaign in Bulawayo by the police, where they say the crime rate in Selborne was increasing. In Mshagatshe of Masvingo, Maria Girando and her 3 children are facing a cold winter while living in a tent since their forced eviction in February. They are part of the hundreds of families evicted by the government, which said they were occupying state land, leaving many homeless and disrupting lives and education. Despite suspending the evictions after public outcry, no compensation or alternative housing has been provided. The evictions have severely impacted single mothers and primary caregivers, stripping them of their homes and livelihoods. Heal Zimbabwe Trust has urged the government to find suitable shelter for the affected families before winter sets in. In Kwekwe, a ferrochrome production company, Zimaso, is under fire for retrenching over 200 workers by the 31st of this month without any retrenchment packages. Reports say the workers have so far refused to sign the retrenchment document without a retrenchment package. In a warning, National Union of Metal and Allied Industries in Zimbabwe said Zimasco must immediately reverse its decision or face legal action. As the cholera crisis continues to spread across Zimbabwe, we at Change Radio encourage citizens to wash their hands with soap under running water, not to eat half-cooked meals, not to buy vegetables and fruits from street vendors, to always boil water before drinking, and to maintain good hygiene always. And finally, in sports, in the English Premier League, Chelsea Football Club sacked their manager Mauricio Pochettino. This follows the team's struggles during the season. Sporting directors Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley wished him best in his coaching career. And to conclude the bulletin, here are the headlines once more. Honorable Chibaya and team conduct training for members in Bulawayo. Ireland, Norway and Spain to officially recognize Palestine as a nation. ICC push for warrant of arrest on Netanyahu for crimes against humanity. From me, Sipiwe Spanda and the crew behind the scenes here at Change Radio, have a pleasant day.